Hi everyone, welcome to the stream. This is Twinning with Rice and Cookie. I'm Rice.
And I'm Cookie.
That was a little weird.
That was weird.
I don't know what that was about. I don't either.
Anyways, so I'm Cookie, and today we are not playing a video game. We are eating chicken wings.
Yep. Like the hot wings.
Yes, hot ones. So this is based on First We Feast Hot Ones. And in that show, they have 10 wings. We only have 5 each.
Yeah.
So,
and ours are more geared towards medium, but we also have the hottest one on the end.
So, from the show, we have the classic. This is their, the most mild sauce.
Oh, you got it in the water.
Oh. There's Los Calientes. This is the middle sauce, the 5th wing. And then this is the hottest sauce, the last dab. And sometimes I'll use just a little bit to season my chili. So like a whole pot of chili. So that kind of tells you.
It's got like a Scoville score of
super hot.
2 million or something.
Yeah. And we have some things here to hopefully make
us.
Yeah, to hopefully make it not so hot. We have bread, we have carrots and celery and ranch, yogurt, and peanut butter. Apparently if you just eat a spoonful of peanut butter, it's supposed to help.
Yep.
So we'll see. We're both a little nervous.
Yep, and we came up with 5 questions for each other.
Yep.
That questions that I don't think you guys would know, or that, they're good questions.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
All right. So, are you ready to go?
I'm ready. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Now, I was envisioning we would be eating the wings at the same time. Is that what you were thinking too?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess, but we need to make sure that there's enough.
I know, time to ask our questions. All right, so maybe I will. Okay. They just go.
Argus wants help with the wings.
No,
he doesn't know which one is which.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe I ask you a question. You ask me a question. We don't answer it. We eat our wings, and it gives us a little bit of time to think about our answer.
We can try that.
Yeah, we'll toy with it as we go.
We'll try it.
Okay. So my question for you is, so you've talked a lot on stream about the triathlons you do and that you train for. So my question is, you've done a lot of other races, like color runs, the Tango Adventure race where there's canoeing and there's swimming, orienteering,
and biking.
It's like a different kind of thing. So color runs, the Tango, and then you've done mud runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess between all these different kinds of races, how does that affect your preparation, or what are any unexpected challenges that you encounter? Things like that.
Okay. Well, so my question for you, that's in the same vein.
Oh, really?
Similar.
Okay.
Is that growing up, we did a lot of different sports. Swimming, tennis, golf. So my question for you, few questions. Is there a sport that we didn't do that you wish we had done?
Mm-hmm.
Is there a sport that we did that you loved and doing it all over again, you would totally pick that sport again? Actually, I think that's it.
Okay.
So I got 2 questions.
Okay, so now I can think it over while we eat our first wing.
All right.
This one is actually
This is just Frank's, right?
Yeah, just Frank's Red Hot sauce, and then it's diluted with butter also, because that's how you're supposed to do it.
This has no heat.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No.
I generally like mild, so.
Mm-hmm.
I like mild and medium.
I will say, just so our viewers are aware, mine's a vegetarian wing. Because my first bite was like really barbaric. I'm like, I just want to explain. Mine's like dripping. Yours isn't.
Yeah, like I said, I think those absorb more of the sauce. Whereas this just kind of like swims through it and comes out.
Are they cooked enough? I was a little concerned about that.
I hope so.
I mean, like, does it seem like it's cooked well?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't eat wings that much, though.
Oh, Culture is here.
Frank's, the classic. Yes. I don't know, maybe it should have been more. Now I'm nervous. Am I going to get food poisoning?
No, you'll be okay. That's why we have all these extra things here. Maybe we should pour ourselves milk now, just so that we're ready and we have it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is very mild. Almost like it's not even there.
You know, the funny thing is, when so I was trying to figure out if this one was more mild than the classic here.
Mm-hmm.
So I took like a little finger, like of each.
The Culture said Frank's the classic.
Yeah.
But this is a different classic.
Yes, that's a different classic. And so with that one, or like I did a little taste test of each one, and I thought both of them, I was like, whoa, that's spicier than I thought. So, but then just eating it on the wing now, it didn't seem that hot. So, I don't know. All right, well I can start.
Culture says Frank's is too spicy for my mom.
Well, it depends on how much you put into things.
Yeah, maybe
or how much butter.
Maybe this just has too much butter.
Yeah. So to answer your question, since I'm done eating before you, I wish, so Rice had asked me if there were any sports that I wish we did growing up, or if, because other sports that we did do that you didn't really talk too much about was like, we did softball, like we only played in 4th grade.
We did soccer.
We played that for 2 years. So like we did try other things. I kind of wish, because like I also did gymnastics for a few years.
You did.
Honestly, like
you're much better than me.
Even as a kid, like I was much bigger than the other kid gymnasts, so that kind of made me feel uncomfortable. So it's like I was never going to be a gymnastics star. I really enjoyed gymnastics, and I don't really think I wanted to pursue it further. But like, because again, I was like too big and awkward already.
Well, but what's interesting is that one of our cousins, she was a gymnast for a really long time.
Yeah.
And then when she quit gymnastics, she grew. Like she's almost as tall as we are.
Yeah, but she was always really short, and she was in line to go to the Olympics. Like that was actually like potentially in her future, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Argus says that Cookie wishes she did curling.
Curling. Your Olympic sport.
Honestly, yeah, Argus, you're right. So my first instinct, though, as an answer, was going to be dance, because to this day, I'm the worst dancer. I have no rhythm, and it's like, it always makes me very uncomfortable.
Yes, I also have no rhythm.
So for me, like, I kind of wish we had some dancing background so that if I go to a wedding, I'm not going to feel like an idiot dancing, you know? But I understand that dancing is an expensive hobby for kids, especially when there's 3 daughters in the family. Like, that can really add up. So I understand why we didn't do dance, but that's my official answer. But Argus, like, so I've said while watching.
I'm gonna say, Culture says,
okay.
I've always thought fencing is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
And Creature says, are you guys mimicking the show? The new show?
No. Well, so the new show is
there a new show?
Yeah, so Sean Evans, the host, he gets like random people and he prepares questions for them. Like, so they're not stars. No, this is, we are just trying the sauces ourselves. So, but Argus's answer for me that curling, because like the last time I watched the Olympics, I was like, I could do curling. Maybe I should try and get into it. And then I looked into it and I was like, this is too hard. But if I was to go to the Olympics, I think I could do curling, even though I have no experience with it. It seems doable.
And which of the sports that we did growing up would you be like, oh yeah, I would do that again?
Probably not swimming, because swimming's not fun.
It's not. I've seen the same thing. But it is great for you.
It is, and I'm glad I know how to do it.
Mm-hmm. And I love being able to get in the water and be like, oh yeah, I know how to swim.
Yeah.
But
honestly, so Argus, he grew up playing soccer. So for him, like, he talks about that team camaraderie, like, you know, you're all working together. It's like, you know, we always did very much like individualized sports.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think I'd pick a team sport. Maybe water polo? I don't know. I know that's not one of the ones that like we grew up with, but it, you know, takes the swimming, but then it adds the team aspect. So I'll say water polo.
And then
Creature says, well, yeah, I know, it's for yourselves. Are you guys gonna ask? Yeah, we're asking.
Yeah, we're asking questions.
Yeah, so she just asked me, because this is our very first question. So she just asked me, what sport do you wish you did growing up? And also, what sport that you did would you do again? Like, you know, if you got to be a kid again, would you like do the same thing, or would you do something different? All right, and so I asked Rice, so like she's talked about on the show how she trains for triathlons a lot and does a lot of triathlons. And so I asked her, like she's done other runs and other races, and I just asked her if there were different ways to like prepare for them, and if there were any challenges with each one that like you wouldn't expect. So yeah, we had just started. We kind of started our stream late because well, the wings took longer. The wings took longer, and then also the fire alarm was chirping, and
the low battery thing.
Yeah, it really caused a problem. So okay, so
for me, triathlon. I'm gonna
like angle this way, so
maybe I will too.
Yeah.
No, but I'm talking to you.
No, I know.
I can talk to this other camera too.
Oh, but we don't. Oh, we do have the other camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just be tiny.
Yeah, that's fine.
But so I'll leave triathlon for the end. Okay. So the color run, I only did a couple years because they started adding glitter into the color mix.
Okay, so what is a color run for our viewers that may not know what a color run is?
So color run is a 5K, and you just run. But every so often, there are these color stations, and it's basically they get these volunteers to have these little, think of like a ketchup squirt bottle.
Okay.
Only it's filled with powder. If anyone knows of the Indian festival called Holi, Holi, it's like the similar colored powder. It's like colored powder and cornstarch. But basically, you run through these stations and you get these volunteers who are like squirting you with these colors.
Yeah.
But it's a powder. But I had one girl get me right in the ear. That was a huge challenge. I was getting pink color out of my ear for months after this race. You wouldn't think, oh, you're gonna get, you know, color in your ear, but it happened.
Yeah.
And then like it gets all over you, so like you obviously go home, wash, like take a shower. But what's funny is the first year we did it, we were in Buffalo and we went into a donut shop after the race in all of our color.
Oh man.
And people were like, oh, you guys did that color run this morning. And we're like, yep, we did. So color run. But yeah, they added glitter, and I'm like, I don't want glitter going in my ear.
That'd be horrible.
Yeah, we did that 2 years. The Tango Run adventure race has a lot of different components or a lot of different legs, so it depends on what leg you're doing as far as your training. So like, if you're doing the bike, you bike. If you're doing the swim, you swim. If you're doing the run, you run. But some people do the entire thing because they're insane.
That's insane.
Because it starts with a half marathon. So you got to do the half marathon and then the 20-mile bike that's all like
up and
hilly,
down.
And then you swim 2 miles, and it's a crazy race. But yeah, some people do it by themselves. And then the mud run, I really just train for running because...
Okay. So you don't do like any obstacle?
No.
I guess you don't really know the obstacles that are coming.
Yeah, I mean, I know just from my past experience with the race, I know what the obstacles are generally, but you don't train for those, you just do them.
Yeah. And Creature says that Rice is more important because she has her own camera.
Oh, okay.
Well, so the thing is, we wanted to we have it like on a tripod, and so
we wanted to swivel
it because there's like a handle so you can like turn it.
But then there was nowhere we could put the camera to like make it work out. So, because then it would get in the way of that camera.
Yeah. So for now, it's just facing her, and that's probably the way it'll be for this whole thing.
Yeah. And then I'll end with triathlons, because then triathlons, really you do your swimming, your biking, your running. But then also what I'm trying to incorporate in more this year, because a lot of times I'll do like strength training in the winter, and then come summer I'll only do swimming, biking, and running. But I'm going to try and keep up doing some strength training throughout.
Okay.
Because it's really good for you, and it can help prevent injuries.
Nice.
Because I've been hurt, or I've injured myself 2 years in a row, and I want to avoid it this year. So
Okay.
I'm trying to do more strength. So here we go.
Okay. So round 2.
Round 2.
Do you think that worked well? Should we keep doing it that way, where we ask the questions, then eat our wing, and then do answers?
I think maybe we alternate. I mean,
Okay.
I think maybe I'll ask a question.
I don't know why it's doing
Why
that.
it's bugging out?
Yeah. We'll just leave it. We'll just leave it. It's like
The
bugging
camera
out.
kind of like
Yeah.
flickers weird. How about you ask a question that I'll answer, and while I'm answering, you can eat your wing.
Okay.
Unless you want to experience the heat at the same time.
Well, that's the only thing. I thought maybe as we get going, like, we would want to be in pain together.
Maybe. Okay.
But no, we can do that though, you know.
For the next couple?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So am I asking you a question first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just answered. Oh, but I'm doing my questions based off of you, so.
Okay.
So you ask your question.
Okay, so my question for you is, so this is related to Australia. Because
Okay.
Bryce studied abroad in Australia for 5 months, right?
5 months.
Yeah. So just based on your time over there, you really got to know the culture and the people and, like, you know,
I knew
everyday things.
some of the people.
Okay.
But okay.
So my question for you is, like, what do you think the biggest differences are between, like, life here in the U.S. and life over in Australia?
Well, I'll say that life over in Australia is, at least compared to where we're from, it's more expensive. Like, I felt like the food was generally like 1.5 times as expensive as what I would think you could get here. And also the Australian dollar was stronger at the time I went. I think right now the American dollar is stronger. But that's like, you know, money matters. That's not so important. I'd say cultural-wise,
The people too, like, are the people different? Like,
yeah.
I want to know everything.
I would say that people, I'd say like the United States is very much a center of like, I don't want to say culture. It's a center of entertainment. And like our economy is so important to the world that like you don't realize that when you're here. But when you're abroad and you're like, oh, these are all the same movies, like these are all American actors, these are all, you know, American singers, like the Australian, like I just thought like, oh yeah, everyone has their own music and movie scene. Not true. I mean, there were some Australian movies. I watched one, it was okay. But so you don't realize like how much American entertainment really like goes everywhere.
Right.
And I would say also like the United States is very like, when you're in the U.S., you just like think of U.S. issues, like you don't really think about
The world.
other things happening. I mean, and some people do. Some people are, you know, more knowledgeable about what's going on, more in the know. But in Australia, it seemed like they were more up to date on current events everywhere. Like they just seemed to have a better handle of what was going on in the world, and like, oh, our country is just one country in this whole world, instead of the U.S. where it's like, we're in the U.S. It's amazing. So that's what I would say the main difference, like feel-wise. And then, you know, they obviously drive on the left.
Yes.
So like when you're waiting for the bus, you better be waiting on the other side of the street than what you think you should be waiting on. Because there were a couple times where I'm like, gotta think which way am I supposed to go? And then if you're walking at someone on a sidewalk, you go to the left instead of the right. That got me, I kept confusing people. I kept going over to the right, and they're like, you know, you trying to do the little dance, which I know the dance happens over here too.
Right.
But it kind of follows traffic, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess I guess that's what I would say.
Okay. Cool.
And I actually need my picture for my next question.
Oh, no, it's okay. Just pick an unrelated question. It's fine.
So this question deals with family matters.
Okay.
So, for those of you who don't know, Cookie is the older twin. And she has told me that there have been occasions where she has felt responsibility over me, the younger twin. Because, you know, like, older siblings are, like, kind of somewhat protective of the younger sibling. So I want to know, have there been any moments in particular where you're like, I can't fully enjoy myself in this moment because what is Stacy doing? What's Rice doing? So that's, I guess, the first part. Like, any specific instances, and if no specific instances, like, what kind of times have you felt this responsibility?
Okay, well,
as older
so
siblings.
It's not even just like the protective thing. It's also like, you know, I want you to be happy kind of thing. So the very first instance that always like comes to my mind about the situation is like in, I think it was 6th or 7th grades, we got LL Bean backpacks. And so the thing is, I ordered like a royal blue one because I like blue. At the time, Rice, her favorite color was green. So
Did I order the green one?
So she wanted this forest green, like beautiful, vibrant color, but they were out of stock on that color. So they sent a like moss green. And she was really upset about it. So then I was like, you know what? I don't care. I'll take that one. Give me the ugly moss one. And then she got the blue one. So that's the first instance that always, because you were very upset. I did not remember.
I thought Mom had just bought the blue one for me.
You were like, why did Cookie want such an ugly one? Oh, I'm gonna warn you though, be careful around your eyes. I just wiped a tear from my eye because I was laughing, but just be careful.
Good to know.
Yeah. Also, so as far as like protectiveness, I feel like they're usually like smaller like instances, or it's like it was even like we had walked back from the library from work one day. This was like a couple months ago. And then like, you know, there was like a man that looked like he was about to ask us for like money or something. So, you know, I do what you're supposed to do. Look down and I sound like a horrible person. But, you know, you look down and you just like avoid eye contact.
I was actually going to talk to him.
I know. And so that's the thing. So like, I think he saw that Rice was looking at him. And so then he was like, oh, I can ask her for money or whatever. And so then he did. And then Rice
he didn't.
He didn't ask for money?
I don't know what he was asking for. I thought he was a student at the community college.
Okay.
And I thought he was going to ask us like a survey question.
I don't think that's what he was going to ask.
Because he didn't look like this typical person who would ask for money. I thought he looked like he was maybe in school.
I don't know. I suspect anybody that's about to talk to me on the street, I always avoid eye contact and walk by. Anyways, yeah, so it's like things like that, you know, because then I had to like, come on, Rice, because she was like about to be talking to this person. So things like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think there's been any time where like my enjoyment of something was like affected by being concerned about you.
Okay, good. Good. I didn't want that.
No. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Older twins, I think in general, do feel like responsibility for
We should do a twin survey. We should find some other twins.
Because didn't you say that, like, you talked to a fellow twin in business school, and didn't they say, like, the same thing?
I do remember this twin that I'm talking about. But I don't remember what he said. I don't remember if I asked him.
I'm guessing it's a common thing, but maybe it's not. Like, who knows? Okay, so
how are you feeling? I'm thinking mine I just didn't put enough sauce on them.
Oh, that one I actually thought like it was hotter than I thought it was going to be.
I did feel it more than the Franks.
Yeah. So the one we just had was this is the most mild one that they have on the show. But I thought like I'd be happy if all my wings were that hot. Like,
okay,
you know.
I would be up for going hotter, but I'm afraid that these aren't going to be saucy enough.
Oh, this one you're not gonna have a problem.
I mean, this one's probably fine. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Because we still have a couple extra wings.
Yeah.
Which, actually, maybe we should put those in, like, the oven to keep warm.
Maybe. I don't know. Argus, do you want to take care of that? You can just set it for, like, I don't know. Do, like, 300 or 275.
Because we have a couple extra wings, so if we want to do more, we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did you already eat them all?
Yeah. I got one more.
Okay. Oh. So I gotta do. Are you gonna do the dab?
Better.
Yeah. So Argus is ahead of us because he's not doing all these interview questions. We made him some wings.
I'm trying to think of what my other question is.
I don't know where to put it.
I do know.
I don't know where to get your wings and put them in the oven.
Oh, not these. No, like all the extra ones over there.
Are those hot enough?
I mean, I would kind of like mine hotter.
You think?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll take this one now.
Oh, I'm good with mine.
So load the ones that-
Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay.
And the 2-fork method was working pretty well. Argus.
What's the 2-fork method?
You use them like tongs.
That's right.
Now, he's just putting them in to get them warm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So
But I might put some more sauce on them. We'll see.
Okay.
Oh, that's 2-fork.
Yeah. Okay. So next we have our picture round because again we're only doing 5 wings. So this is wing 3, so we're doing pictures. All right. Bryce's pictures will be coming up first. How many pictures did I have you pick out? Like
5 or
Oh,
6.
actually we have.
I don't know. I didn't keep track.
I actually think my pictures are coming up first.
No, your pictures. My pictures are coming up first.
No. Okay.
All right, here we go. Picture
All right.
round.
So
You have to do something?
yeah,
Yeah.
I got it. Hey, that's fun. Okay. So we just have a few pictures. We're not going to talk like about all of them, but there's just a few that I thought were fun and I was considering.
Oh gosh. That was terrible. I was like that one. That fish was my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's me in the middle.
I like this picture because you're like in your jail costume and everybody else is like Disney princess or something.
Yeah. Oh no. That one, I don't know like why it's so terrible.
All right, and this is the picture I will be asking you about.
I hate this picture.
Why? You look fine.
My tongue is sticking out.
No, that's why I like it. It's not posed. Okay, so this picture, the only thing I know about it is that at Cornell, you know, Cornell Count 1.
Cornell.
So you were on like the concrete canoe team?
Yes.
So this, I think, is your concrete canoe. But can you just like, as I said, that's all I know about this picture. Like, what's going on? What was your involvement in concrete canoe?
Well, so that's
was it like fun? Like
That's the funny thing is
Yeah.
that I was only in it my last year, so I
Uh-huh.
feel like I was a poser. Like,
oh, were other people there like their whole time?
mhm.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
like the girl who's a little further down the line.
Yeah.
Like she, like the girl next to me, but on my
Right.
further
Further
side.
away. Yeah.
Like she was on concrete canoe all 4 years.
Oh wow.
She was like a super, like she's the
Yeah.
one who was always went above and beyond, and I'm like, oh, Hannah.
She got like all
Like-
the scholarships, right?
No, that was a different girl.
Oh, okay.
But she was like always so involved in everything, and I'm like, and she just made the rest of us look bad. Like, darn it, Hannah.
Should I be eating my wing now?
Oh yeah, you should.
Okay.
So I joined my senior year mostly because I needed 1 more credit, and you can take concrete canoe for credit.
I see.
So you do so many hours, and then you can get a 1 credit, you know, ungraded that goes towards your credit count.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so I joined my senior year, and so the first semester I did it for credit. Second semester I just did it for fun. I was like, I'm already invested in this thing. I might as well not just be a poser and do the whole thing.
That's a whole year long thing?
Yeah. So every year, Cornell, a whole bunch of other upstate New York schools like Rochester, like RIT had a team. I think, I don't know if Clarkson had a team. Actually, one school in Montreal had a team. They all
Wow.
came down speaking French. But yeah, there were maybe 10 schools. So every year there's this competition. There's a concrete canoe competition and steel bridge. We'll talk about concrete canoe, but among civil engineers, it was those two teams you could do. So concrete canoe, you build a canoe out of concrete. You have to figure out what you want your mix to be of the concrete, because there's some particles, like you have your fly ash and your whatever other things that make up the concrete, but there are these like little styrofoam bubble type things. I forget what they're called, and they're not styrofoam, but they're like little bubbles. And you put that into the mix, and that helps make it float.
Okay.
But also the shape of the canoe helps make it float. But we had to make the mold first, which was a wooden canoe. So like we had all these tiny little like super thin boards of wood, and you had to glue them together and clamp them together.
Okay.
It was really interesting. And the kid, because he was a freshman, the kid who was like leading us through this, like his dad made canoes.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's like, I know how to do this, guys. So he made the mold, and then once we had the mold done, or he like told us how to do it, but it took so much sanding. It was a ton of work. And then you have your concrete, and then you mold it to the concrete, or to the mold. It was a very involved process, and the team had like probably 20-some, 30-some people on it.
It's a lot.
One of my friends was on the team with me. She's not in this picture. I wonder how she's doing. I haven't seen her in a while. But yeah, it was fun. I regretted not doing it all 4 years. I feel like, because that was the only thing I did.
Yeah.
Like the only extracurricular. Like at Cornell, I was so focused on my studies because I was always like, I'm failing.
But you spent a lot of time with your friends and stuff
I did, but I didn't do anything like school extracurricular until this year. And I'm like, I should have done that from the beginning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun. I liked doing it. I should have done it more. And plus, I didn't have that many friends in civil, so it would have helped me make friends.
Yeah.
You know, that's always nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got to say for that. All right, I'm gonna I guess I'll click through.
Yeah. Are you ready for?
Yeah, I'm ready for yours.
All right. So here's some pictures of me.
Yep.
Oh.
No, this is
I've got it.
me.
Yeah. Sorry. Here we go.
So here's some pictures of Cookie.
Pictures of me.
She did lots of scuba diving.
I did.
Her.
Doing research.
Yeah. And so this is at our grandma's house, but this isn't the picture we're stopping on.
Yeah, I
Gotta pose.
Yep, it's the telephone pole.
This is not the picture we're stopping on either, but our mom made killer
Oh my
Power
gosh.
Ranger costumes.
She did. I'm in yellow, and I don't know. It looks like I'm mid-sneeze or something.
I'm the cute one in green on the left. The kid next to me is the kid I had a crush on. He was my first date when I was
He
in
lives
preschool.
like across the street.
Culture says, wow, those are good. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
you
went
can
all
tell.
out.
So the girl on the right, that was like our older sister's friend. See, her costume was like store-bought, so that was good.
Yeah, it's like kind of shimmery. Like,
Yeah.
not as good. This is the picture we're stopping
Oh,
on.
man.
So Cookie went to Thailand and Cambodia.
Yes.
So my question for you is, I know you were over there for a really long time.
It's
So-
only a month.
well, but it's still a long time for travel. Like,
Yeah.
most of the time in Australia, I was just doing classes. So I want to know, like, when you felt like a complete outsider, like if there were any specific moments where you're like, oh my gosh, like just overwhelmed with everything. If you were overwhelmed. See, I feel like I kind of just adapt. But
Yeah.
so I want to know, like, if you ever felt overwhelmed and like completely out of place, and people are staring at me because I'm so white. And then also,
Okay.
if there were any times when you were like, panicked isn't really the right word,
Yeah.
but like, say, like, because I know for me, when I recently went to Portugal, like we almost did the train wrong.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, was there anything where like you felt like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. Like, I need to go back to somewhere where I know what I'm doing, or I'm going to be late for this or whatever. I don't know if you were ever in any situation like that.
Well, okay, so first of all, So in general with Thailand and Cambodia, they're very much tourist minded. So like it's not just people from the US, there's a lot of Australians that go to Thailand, and then also like from the UK. And then at least all the people from Europe that I met, they had very good English. So like most of the people spoke English, so it's like at the very least, I mean, when I got to the more rural areas that wasn't as true. But even then, like I wasn't panicked or anything. I guess like my one panic moment was like I was in Bangkok and I was going to take a flight to Phuket, and then from there I was supposed to like take a taxi to go to Khao Lak because I was going to go scuba diving there. So like first to get to the airport was kind of like an ordeal. Because like getting from the airport to wherever you're going in Bangkok is super straightforward. Because you just get on like the train or whatever and you just go. But going back, it's not the same. So, it would have been if I was using the same airport, but that's the international airport. I wasn't going back international because I was going to be flying within the country. So then I had to go to this other airport. So then I had to take like a different train line and I had to catch a bus, which I've like never taken a bus before, besides like a school bus. That's not true.
Collectivos.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but so like catching the right bus was kind of scary. So like I think I was at the point where I was at the bus stop, and I was concerned. I was like, okay, what bus am I getting on? Like I did not know, and I was filled with doubt. So that was scary. But I mean, like I always leave plenty of time to get to the airport, so like I wasn't that concerned. But I was also like, man, it would really suck if I was going the wrong way. But then also, like, as far as, like, feeling out of place, like, it just happened a few times, like, on their, like, metro system in Bangkok, because I'd just be on it with, like, a whole, like, oh my gosh, the worst. So I had that same green backpack we were talking about earlier, so that's my backpack I had. And I was...
Argus says the last dab's pretty hot.
Okay. So... yeah, I was getting on the train. First of all, yeah, it's all just like Thai people on there. There weren't any other tourists. I had my giant backpack. It's like filled maximum. And then
was that the only bag you brought?
Yeah.
Wow.
I also had a purse. But so the thing is, like, there was not room for my backpack on that train. So like I had to really like shove my way in. I've never felt like more uncomfortable in my life. And then like everybody I felt like was just staring at me in my giant backpack. It was pretty bad.
I can imagine it.
But like, and the thing is like if at least I wasn't by myself, it would have been better.
Mm-hmm.
But like the fact that I was by myself, me with this giant backpack, like it wasn't great. I wouldn't recommend it. But other than that, like there was one issue where like this was when I was with my brother, our brother,
Dr. Waffle.
Dr. Waffle. So we went to like a pretty remote area in northern Thailand, and I hadn't booked a place to stay because I was like, well, I don't know if we're gonna do this for our trip. I was like, we'll see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to go, and I was looking for a hotel, and I was like, this is miserable. I don't know where the hotels are. I don't even know who to talk to. And then like we found a person, and then like I'm horrible at bartering because you can barter for everything. And so I was like, oh, that sounds too expensive. So then, but I was like so grumpy because I was tired. I was sick, remember, at this point?
Yeah.
So at this point in the trip, I was sick, and I was just, it was not fun. So like he wasn't totally understanding what I was saying, but eventually we did bring down the price a little bit. Because I was like, well, I'm gonna just, find somewhere else. And then, I was just so grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the picture goes, I was at the Elephant Nature Park in Chiang Mai. That's in northern Thailand, and it's pretty magical. I mean, you feed them like you're behind that red line for safety, but
was that like the coolest thing ever?
it was really cool.
I really like elephants, so
yeah, it was really cool.
Thank you.
I wish that I wasn't sick during it because they had like this wonderful buffet. And I couldn't eat anything because we spent the night there, and I couldn't eat anything because I was sick. That kind of stuff.
I will say I felt that one a little bit.
Yeah,
It was definitely a little spicy.
hotter. Yeah. All right. So now we will go back to our regular screen. We're done with pictures.
All right.
Okay. So
I need to think of what my other question is.
Okay. What was my question for? I know what my last question is, but I have to think a second.
Well, I'm supposed to ask you one now, aren't I?
Yeah,
No, you ask first.
I can't even remember what my question was about.
Do you have it written down somewhere?
I do. It's on my laptop.
Oh.
Man, I'll just check it really quick.
Argus, do you want to heat up some of these vegetarian ones? Because maybe I'll have one of those after we finish the wings. Or no, these are cookies, but there's extra ones, yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course. Okay. So, I'm asking you a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So our viewers, I don't think know that Rice had appendicitis in 2009.
Yes.
And that's something where, like, anytime I have weird pain, like, in my stomach, I'm like, oh no, is this appendicitis? Do I have to go to the hospital? And that happens to our older sister also, where we just, like, are very concerned about things
She
like
thought
that.
she had appendicitis, like, a couple years before I had it.
Yeah.
And she had to go to the emergency room because she's like, I think I have appendicitis, and then it wasn't.
But the thing is, like, growing up, we watched Madeline, and she had to get her appendix removed.
She did.
And so, like, as a kid, we know, like, that's something that can go wrong.
Yeah.
So, I want to know, like, I guess to, like, help ease my mind and our older sisters, like, what do you remember about the whole experience as far as, like, when did the pain start? Like, how did it feel? What do you remember from, like, the surgery or, like, you know, recovery?
Okay.
How did everything go?
All right, interesting question. So, I remember on Sunday night, senior year of high school, we were watching TV, and Mom is like, dinner's ready. And so you go in, and you're like, oh, eating dinner.
I'm supposed to be eating.
Yes, you're supposed to be eating. So yeah, Cookie goes, and she starts being like, okay, like dinner. And then you come back out, because I'm still sitting on the couch, and you're like, Rice, like dinner's ready. And I'm like, I'm not hungry. I don't feel good. And then Mom is like, oh, like, are you sure? And then you said, I think something's really wrong with her. We love eating
If
so
Rice
much.
doesn't want food,
There's something wrong. So the thing is, I had a couple of flare-ups in the fall, because this is the spring. I had a couple flare-ups during swim season, and I knew that whenever I had these flare-ups and I ate, I then threw up. So I wanted to avoid throwing up. So I was like, no, I don't want to eat. So I didn't. And Kultish says, ha ha ha. So then Monday morning, I had the lifeguard.
Yeah, that sucks.
I had the 6 a.m. shift. So I went to the pool, and I couldn't even sit in the chair properly. Because, like, you know the chair, and you could kind of get your feet up on the one bar.
Mhm.
Like, I couldn't even do that. I was sitting like this, like, watching the swimmers. So, like, I couldn't sit up. And then I went to my first class. It was physics. And he had those stools you sit on.
Yeah.
So I was trying to sit on a stool, but I couldn't sit on a stool. So I was, like, sitting against it, like, against the table, like, sitting like this. Just kind of, like, sitting like that, because sitting up straight hurt too much.
Just letting you know, things are, like, heating up. I'm, like, feeling some sweat.
Okay,
You know?
good to know. Yeah,
I might dive into my milk, but I'm going to try and be strong in that. So.
Okay. So I had to sit on the floor, and then I went to the nurse, and I'm like, nurse, I don't feel good. And she's like, well, nothing seems to be wrong with you. And I'm like, no, nurse, I don't feel good. I want to go home. So she's like, okay, you can go home. I didn't realize I had to sign out. I didn't sign out. I just drove myself home. and then
I'm sure the school loved that.
I think the school, like, called mom and dad or something. But anyways, they got it all sorted out. It was fine. But then I went to a couple doctor's appointments. I first went to the pediatrician, because, you know, being 17, you go to the pediatrician.
Yeah.
The nurse is like, okay, jump off the table. And, like, after she did the whole checkup, asked me questions. So I got off the table by, like, lowering myself.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. She's like, I think you have appendicitis, because apparently a lot of kids who come in thinking they have appendicitis, she's like, okay, jump down. And they like jump down all acrobatic and be like, ta-da. But like the way I lowered myself, it's like, you don't want impact.
Yeah.
And then from there, I went to the gynecologist because I thought I had cysts. I got a CAT scan, and then actually I did the CAT scan and the gynecologist. And then the gynecologist was like, you don't have cysts. We think you have appendicitis, so here's the doctor's order for it. You're going to the hospital. They're taking it out.
Okay.
So that's basically it. And they didn't even know that what was wrong. They're like, we're just going to cut you open, and if your appendix is infected, we'll take it out. If it's not infected, we'll take it out, because while we're in there, we might as well.
You might as well, yeah.
But that ended up being, I think, Wednesday.
Okay.
Tuesday, or it might have been Tuesday or Wednesday. I was in pain for a long time.
Yeah.
And on the way, I remember on the way driving to the hospital, Dad was driving me. And I told Dad, I'm like, try not to hit any potholes, because the impact hurt. So I'm like, avoid the potholes, Dad. So if you think you might have appendicitis, you'll know if you can't sit up straight and if impact hurts.
Okay. It's good to know.
And they say like, oh, pain on the right side. I had pain in the middle.
Okay.
So it's like, you can't go by that.
Yeah. Sometimes I get like this weird pain. I'm like, is it appendicitis? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I mean, mine didn't burst.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard that is excruciating. But my pain was pretty bad.
All right. Well, at least now it's gone. You don't have to worry about
it. That's right. So that's all I got to say.
All right.
You ready for your question?
I am.
I don't have anything similar to that.
Okay.
But my question is, now, Cookie has lived in New York State her entire life.
I have.
Minus maybe like the month trip, and then she did at REU, and
that's a research experience for undergraduates.
Yeah, she did that in Ohio. But besides that, you've lived in New York your entire life.
I have.
So the first question I have for you is, why do you love New York? Like, what makes this a great place to live? And then I'm going to follow up with, if you could move anywhere else in the U.S., not have to worry about like, can I find a job? Say you magically have a job in whatever place. So like, say job doesn't matter. Like, where would you like to try living in the U.S.?
So, so first about New York State.
Why is New York so wonderful?
Well, okay,
what do you love about it?
First of all, I just want to say, it always kind of bothered me that I lived my whole life in, because the thing is, I love traveling, and I think I would like to try living in a different state. It just never happened. So, I mean, at this point, like, I love my job at New York State Department of Transportation, so, like, I'm probably never going to leave until I retire, and then maybe but it's like, why would I move to a different state at that point? I don't know. Because it might be one of those things, like, because I do really like New York State. I like that it's pretty progressive. Like, maybe not as progressive as California, but, like, it's right up there. And I know it's really only because of New York City, but, like, at least living on, not in the city, that, at least I get to benefit from that. So I like that. I do like the variety of, like, places, I guess, because like you can go to New York City and like be in a super urban environment. You could be in, and the nice thing too, so like there's a lot of cities where like, the other cities in New York State besides New York City, you drive like half an hour and you can get to the countryside, which I think is really nice. And I think most places in the US are like that. But I like the local fruits and vegetables. I like that we have the Adirondacks, because like those are super cool. And I know, again, like other states have mountains and stuff.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Because also, because what bothers me about where we live, because we're like in Western New York, and it's very flat.
It is.
And so I wish it wasn't so flat, but at the same time, having it be flat is super convenient. Like if I want to bike anywhere, I know I can do it.
It's safer with snow too.
Yes, also, because where our parents live, it's a lot hillier, and whenever it's icy there, I'm always like, wow, you have to be like super careful, because at least here, like, it is pretty flat. But yeah, and I like that we've got 2 Great Lakes, and like the Finger Lakes also are beautiful, and that area is not
Cornell.
bad. I know, Cornell. It is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I would say like the progressiveness, and tying into that, like they do have a lot of restaurants that vegetarians and vegans can eat at. And like in general, there's always a vegetarian option of some sort that's not just a salad. The recycling is good because like Ohio, they don't even recycle or something, right?
Ohio does. Alabama didn't.
Oh, but your apartment didn't in Ohio?
Mhm.
Okay, so, and even you can get that in New York State too, but, and I would also say I like how affordable it is. And I know like...
If you're not in New York City.
If you're not in New York City, yeah. And again, I think most US states are pretty affordable, but I like New York State. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think if I were to move anywhere, see, I wouldn't want to pick California. It's too trendy for me.
Earthquakes.
And earthquakes. And forest fires and things. I don't want that. That's what I do like about New York too, is like, I mean, unless you're in New York City, you don't have to worry about like floods. You know, it's pretty safe. Sometimes you'll get a tornado, but like not bad. I always like the sound of Michigan. I should have known that. That's where you were gonna go. So like for grad school, I really wanted to go to University of Michigan.
It's got 3 lakes instead of 2.
Well, because like Ann Arbor is supposed to be like a really cool city, so I wanted to go there. But then like the whole thing, it didn't work out. Anyways, but okay. So I would pick Michigan. I've never really been there, so I don't really have a good reason for it.
Yeah.
But I always like the sound of Michigan.
It's like when I was a senior in college, I wanted to go to Indiana.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I never went to Indiana, but
yeah.
And looking back, I'm glad I didn't ever move to Indiana. But
yeah,
because New York's better.
It is. Yeah.
All right.
So we are on our last wing. Oh yeah, I forgot to call out earlier. Los Calientes was 2 wings ago.
Yeah, this last wing was a wing that the sauce is one that I got from one of my podcasts.
Yeah, the spicy lady or whatever.
She makes spices.
Yeah. Yeah, Ogre says, looks like healthy foods. Nom nom nom.
Chicken wings. Well,
you're eating carrots right now.
I am.
So this is the last dab. It's our last chicken wing, and this is the hottest of hot sauces. But it's tradition. I'm like having a hard time shaking it.
Gotta do a dab.
It's tradition around here, so they say in the show, to do a last dab. Gotta dab the final. It's so hard to get out of the jar, guys.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's really hard to get out of the jar, so just...
I thought they dipped it.
No,
Scarlett Johansson dipped hers.
Well, they dab it most of the... Or, you know, they did a little dollop. That's good. This is gonna be really hot.
I think we should eat this one together. Okay. Also, I need to think of my last question.
Okay. All right. Here. Do you want... I think I should ask you...
Gotta cheers.
Cheers. I want to ask...
Ogre says, uh-oh.
I know,
I'm afraid. The rest of these were doable.
They were, like, I liked that last one.
Yeah. Isn't it good?
It was hot, but, like, you know, a good hot.
I've been having it with my scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
I think it's nice.
But I want to ask you a question. Your question.
Oh.
Your next question.
Okay.
Before we bite into these.
Okay. Should I answer before I eat? Okay.
No. We'll do like how we did on the first one,
Okay.
where we ask each other questions and then we'll eat. And then we'll
I
answer.
need to come up with a question though. Okay.
Okay. So, growing up, we always played like a variety of games that we made up.
Yeah.
So I want you to pick like a game or two and just like describe to people like how do you play the game? How do you win? I can give you some options if you want.
Okay.
So
I'll take options.
There's like monster, dolphins and sharks. There's like monster tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess maybe
I know what
train.
you're talking about.
Yeah. There's like Land Before Time. We have talked about that on stream,
Yes.
but you know, we can always, people might not have heard it the first time. There's Spy.
Oh yeah, Spy.
So yeah, just think about like, you know, describing a game or two.
Okay. I don't know.
Is this the one you're
question.
winging where like you didn't have a plan?
Yeah. I guess so. Cookie went to school at Brockport. And so I want to know, like, what was your favorite experience while you were at Brockport? You know, just, and you can describe your involvement or like, you know, if it was your game club or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just want to hear what your favorite experience of Brockport was.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Man, this is gonna suck.
I know. I know, I'm scared. All right, let's go. Woo. The dab was hot.
I was expecting it to be worse.
I think they stew their wings more than what we did.
Oh man, I feel my lips are really burning. My mouth feels okay. It's hot, but my lips really hurt.
It escaped. Right. I don't think I got it on my lips, but it's like got my tongue.
It is really hot. Ooh,
Taking the glasses off.
yeah. Ow, my lips really hurt. Wow.
Mm. I let the milk just kind of sit there. Oh, but you're done with yours. I still have to finish mine.
Mine are a lot easier to eat. Holy cow.
Wow. The rest of us were so mild.
Oh my gosh.
We need yogurt. Major Blue says that's a breakfast. In my work, I cannot do one like that. This one is so.
Whew. We have yogurt. It's supposed to be like even better than milk.
I do the previous one with breakfast. This one is like a million times worse.
Wow.
You're lucky you're done.
You know, some people on the show, they just take one bite and they stop.
Waste of a wing.
I guess I'll start answering my question.
Okay.
Wow. I'm sorry, you guys have to just keep hearing us say, wow, this is hot.
Okay, I think I'm done with that one.
I might have to pour myself another cup of milk. Do you want to try the peanut butter thing?
Sure. Peanut butter supposedly helps.
While you drink the milk, it feels really good, and then when you stop, it just
I like
comes
to
back.
kind of keep it in my mouth for a little bit.
That's what I should do. Holy, oh my gosh, I dropped the cap, it's fine.
I can answer my question.
So I will explain Spy.
So I think it's a fun one. Whew! Actually. So Spy is a game that we made up. Just like all these games. But Spy, we were trying to, so in our family, a lot of times the adults would be talking, the moms would be talking in the one room, and then the rest of us, like the kids, would be playing video games, and usually the dads would be watching TV.
That's smart.
There's more spoons there.
Yeah, it's for the peanut butter.
So we and one of our cousins, we played this game called Spy.
Two of our cousins.
Basically, Wayfish was one of them. So what you do is you have to try and sneak past the talking moms and touch the doorknobs. Don't know why it was the doorknobs. I think it's because we were like escaping. We were pretending we were prisoners and we had to escape. No, but we were spies. Why did we call it Spy?
I think, I think maybe we were like captured spies or something. Or maybe we had to leave the building, like we had finished our mission and we were leaving or something.
Maybe. But basically, you had to try and touch the doorknobs without any of the moms saying your name. So we had kind of an edge because sometimes they would be like, "Oh, cookie, not rice," and so like sometimes we were able to get the doorknob before they really caught us. But our sister, our older sister, for some reason, she would sit with these talking moms, and she like made it her mission to.
I think it gave her something to do.
I think so too. Yeah. But so she would like always be our main adversary.
Yeah, she was really good at it.
The moms were just being good sports if they saw us.
But also, apparently my mom said, like, yeah, they just let us get by sometimes to, like, make us feel good.
Yeah. Because, like, if you went the one way, you would be almost guaranteed 1 point because there's one doorknob.
Yeah.
If you're able to make it across the one hallway, you could get 2 points with the 2 doorknobs. So it's like, well, do you want to try and be safe or do you want to go and risk it all? So we got the idea from Conker's Bad Fur Day, I believe.
Because I didn't even remember that.
Because you can either try playing the, maybe that's why we call it Spy. Is it called Spy?
No.
The beach. It's called Beach.
It's called Beach, yeah.
So in the beach level, you have the squirrels and they're trying to blow up the, or they're trying to like break into the teddy bear fortress. And so as a squirrel, you can either choose, do I want to just try and run in or do I want to try and get the dynamite and then run in? Because the dynamite and then run in, you're getting the extra points. So that's kind of where I think the game originated from.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
And then one of the other games we played was, I don't want to talk about the dinosaur one, because we've talked about that one before. So I'll talk about the shark and dolphins. So this was a game that our mom actually made up. Because instead of being one of the moms that just kind of sits by the pool and reads a book, she got in the water with us frequently. And she played this game where she was the shark. And she wanted to eat all of these dolphins, who were all of the
I
kids'
call them
swimmers.
mermaids. You're right. It's dolphins.
Yeah. And so our mom would always say like, "Oh, where are the dolphins? I want to let you or lead you to my oven." Oh, I mean sauna. Because basically, if she caught you, then you had to go and sit on the steps and then like be in timeout for so long
Until someone rescues you.
Oh, right. Someone has to rescue
It's
you.
pretty much Monster, but just in a pool.
In the water. Yeah. So, but the thing is, if the dolphin were to swim with their face in the water, the shark can't see you for some reason.
It's our mom's way of encouraging us to learn how to swim.
So this game would just go on and on and on until someone just decides we're done.
Yeah, until it's time to go.
Yeah. But everybody loved it.
Yeah. All right. So the question you asked me, what was it again?
Rockport.
Yes. Definitely for me, yeah. Game Club was my favorite thing. In college, I was in Game Club, where every Friday we would go to the Union's basement, and like a big group of us, like there were probably 30 people sometimes. So we'd all meet in a big room. We would do our little like meeting beforehand, like any announcements and stuff, and then after that we would just play board games. So sometimes people would bring their like 3DSs and you could play video games, but most people played board games. And we had like a huge library of games, and it was a lot of fun. Not just like, you know,
did someone have to bring the games like
we had
every week, like
well, so
bring all of these board games?
My friend did that because I mean he had a lot of board games in his own personal library, so he would bring like Wegmans bags full of games. Like I think he'd bring like at least 2 bags, maybe 3. He'd bring like he'd have his suite mates carry some too. But the game club itself, we had a cupboard in the basement of the Union that had like a lock. So
yeah, I didn't know if you were able to store them.
No.
Or people had to schlep them every time.
No, like we stored them, but then my friend would schlep his own every time. So.
Okay.
Yeah, so then after we do our meeting, we'd say like a game on, and we would all play games. So it's not just the fact that like you're playing like all these, because we had a lot of games, and board games are kind of expensive, like especially if you don't know if you're gonna like the game. So it was really nice that you could like try a lot of games, and most of my friends that I still keep in touch with, like they were all in a game club, and so it was just it was really good, like for me especially, because like I never really like. It was really tough, especially freshman year, because I didn't like my freshman year roommate, and I just had one roommate. And then after that, like I would get new roommates and stuff like that. First year was kind of tough, but then like every Friday, you know, I'd be going to game club, and then I would see a bunch of my friends there, and it's like, it was a good way to like get out. And like usually, so game club started at like 6:30 p.m. I think, and then sometimes we'd stay until they kicked us out of the union, which was at 1 a.m.
Wow.
So like it was like a long night of games. It was kind of like super dorky, but I really enjoyed it. I will say my first game club meeting was like the scariest because I went by myself. I didn't know anybody. So
I went by myself to water polo, and I never went back.
Yeah, that's
Also because
sad.
someone stole my goggles.
Yeah, that's lame.
Who steals goggles?
Who does that?
From a freshman.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, continue. This is about you.
Because I had gone, there was like club craze. It's like a thing where for like new students or transfers, like you could go and there's like a representative from all these different clubs, and they're like, here, join our club. And so
Yeah.
so I went, and there were a few like clubs that I went to like once, and I was like, yeah, that's not for me. So the game club I went.
That's how I found out about chess club, and I went the one time. I went to a lot of things one time and then quit.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did too. But so when I went to game club the first time, like I said, I went by myself, and I'm like, this is kind of scary, but like it'll be okay. So then I got there, and I was like, well, I don't know any of these people. So I think it was like a couple of like sophomores, maybe juniors. They were gonna play Carcassonne, and so then they asked me if I wanted to play. How nice of them to ask, because like I didn't know what I wanted to play. And so then I played that with them, but then I think
Are any of those people from that first game still like your friends?
No, because they stopped coming to game club.
Oh.
No, but I think one of the other people, I don't remember who else I was playing with. So I played with two people that were definitely upperclassmen. They were like dating or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another person we were playing with, and I don't remember who that person was. But so I think after playing Carcassonne, I don't remember what game I played next. But then I was like invited to play another game that was like maybe with more people. And so then through that, I met my friends that brings all the board games every time.
Okay.
And so for me, that was like very important, because like I kind of wanted to leave after the first game, because I'm like, you know, this is still like nerve-wracking. I still don't really have a friend here. So
Right.
but then yeah, after I played the second game, whatever game that was, I was good. I think I played a game with that one friend, because he's always looking for people to play a game, and so he's like, I want to play this. He's like, do you want to play it? I'm like, sure, I have to learn it. And so ever since then, we've been friends.
All right.
So,
is there a game that you would say is your favorite that you learned about through Game Club?
yes. I love the game Agricola, or Agricola. So that one I played, I think it was either when I was a junior or a senior in college. And it was a game where, again, my friend who has all these board games, he's like, I want you to play this game, you're gonna like it. And so, but of course I had to learn it, and learning it takes forever, and it's always, I hate learning the game. It's always
I
so boring.
also really hate learning games. I zone out half the time.
Well, it's like, you know, if you see how a game is, how it works, then it's like, it's way easier to understand.
Right.
But like, I understand you need to know base things before you get going. So it's horrible, but it's necessary. And yeah, so he's like, okay, I want you to play Agricola. And we had a group of 5, so it made the game even last longer.
Oh,
5 is the maximum.
It is a good game for those of you
It's a
who
really
have
good
not
game.
played.
It's like,
It's just time consuming.
yeah. And so I loved the game so much. I think maybe I was a senior. But yeah, I really liked it. And I don't even remember who necessarily I was playing with. But other games, though, that we did play a lot at
Is it
Game
okay if I
Club.
finish the celery?
Yeah. Other games we played a lot at Game Club were like, we played Werewolf a lot.
Okay.
And we would have like,
I'm just okay with werewolf.
but the thing is, we would have like 25 people playing. And so like, the fact that there were so many, like, you know, only certain people would speak up and be like, I think you're a werewolf, or, you know, And then like, so all the silent people can like get by for a long time.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't want to be a silent person, but
Right.
like, it was really like a whole different
Everyone-
dynamic with so many people.
Everyone always thought I was the werewolf because I would say something.
Well, I mean, someone's got to say
I
something.
know,
Yeah.
that's right.
But yes, I played that, and then also for me, another memorable game I played is Dread. It's because the thing is, I'm not really into tabletop role playing games, but this one it was like horror themed, and like you're the typical like high school students, and you've got a jock, a nerd, the popular girl, like you've got your group of people, and for some reason you're at a cabin, but one of you is killing everybody, or like you're starting to murder people. And so the thing is, you're trying to like figure out who did it, or like, you know, get away safely. And so that one for me was very memorable. I only played it the one time. I don't really know that I'd want to play it again, but just playing it the one time was good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
Yeah,
And yeah, that I'm feeling a lot better.
I am too.
That last one, wow, was very, very spicy. I don't really feel the need to do it again.
No, I think I'll just put it in my chili from now on.
Yeah, but wasn't the second to last one good?
It was really good. Yeah, I liked that one. I also have this bread. We don't have to eat it. It was supposed to help if
Well, you
things were
toasted
hot.
it, so maybe I will. But I do want to try one of your wings.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Argus, is it still in the oven? Argus? Is it still in the oven?
From my area to the oven, but it should be heated up again.
Oh, okay. Yeah, those were good questions, I thought. Oh, Colt just played a few games with some of his buddies over the internet on Tuesday.
The last game was
It was Puerto
Rico. It took us a while to cover the rules, and none of us had a good idea of what to do for the first several turns.
Yeah. I played Puerto Rico just once at Game Club, and like I remember thinking it was okay, but you know, it's one of those things where it's like,
This piece of bread is still very soft.
well, it's probably because it was the heel. Do you want this one instead?
Oh, I'll just throw it in the toaster again.
Okay. Yeah, like I have no issue with Puerto Rico. I only played it one time, so I don't really have. And plus, by now, it's probably been like 8 years ago.
It's a long time.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
Because, I mean, if you're learning a game and somebody knows the rules really well, then, like, that's my favorite way to learn a game. Because then it's like, well, actually, my favorite way is to watch people play a game.
Yeah.
But if you can't watch people play a game, then the next best thing is to have someone who knows the game super well and can answer any question you have, or, you know, and then at least, like, when you start playing, they'll be like, oh, I'll go first. You can see what it's like. But because we were learning a game called Scythe.
Okay.
We played it a couple weeks ago. This is CU Tiger and I. And neither of us knew what we were doing.
That's the worst.
But we did learn it fairly quickly. But like, it was like, it would have been nicer if one of us knew how to play when we started. Culture says,
If I was decent.
Ogre says, how's the corona situation in your city?
It's okay. We have, I forget how many cases.
I don't know. I mean, the cases I think are still going up.
Yeah, the last I heard it was like 50 something or 70 something.
But like, it's not bad. But compared to other places,
Compared to
I
other
guess.
places, yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. We've just been kind of staying in, you know,
Yeah.
social distancing.
This was my first day getting out because since I first started working from home, I had only been to the farmer's market 2 weekends in a row. And that was the only place I went until today because I did a site visit for work. So I met up with one of my coworkers and we were in a car together, and I kept thinking, I really hope you don't have coronavirus because then now I will have it. And then I came here because I didn't come here last week.
The culture says, I thought it was decent. I managed to win because I accelerated massively once I got coffee up and running. Nice.
So I'm guessing you can make coffee in the game. It
I don't even remember. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, but I
Wasn't
think,
that Cultures just like made a cup of coffee
No.
and was like, oh yeah, I know exactly what to do. Yeah, the coronavirus, it's, you know, annoying, but
we do what we can, and my trip is officially canceled, which I'm bummed, but
To the Netherlands.
our flight got canceled over the weekend, and then I was able to cancel the Airbnb and get a full refund, and then I canceled the hotels too. But now I have a credit for the airline that I have to use within a year, and the Airbnb I can use until December 2021. So I got time.
Yeah.
But I just need to make sure I go on another trip that uses those flight miles because I don't want to waste it.
Right. That's why, because we were saying that if our trip to Japan gets canceled, then if we get like, you know, flight miles back, it's like Argus was saying, oh, well,
That's an expensive flight.
It is. Argus was like, well, we could go to like England with those miles, but I don't think we would get the difference. Like, I think it's just.
Well, maybe
Based on what I've seen
maybe you would
through-
still have a credit on your account.
I don't think so. Cause
Oh, you
I
don't?
mean, when I've looked at it, this is through Air Canada. It looked like it was just this one ticket will get you another one ticket.
Because I know for us, they said if you were to change destinations and go somewhere that costs more, then you pay the difference. But I think if you don't use it all, well, maybe you don't get it back. I don't know. But even more of a reason to go to Montenegro for me instead of the Netherlands because it's more expensive to fly there. So you're not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
But we'll see. But yeah, it was a bummer because I had it all planned.
I know. And then you get like so excited about it, and then you have to cancel.
Yeah. And I felt bad for the Airbnb girl. 'Cause I sent her a message and I'm like, hey, like I see Airbnb has this policy and I'm like, we're going to cancel. But yeah, I felt bad.
Yeah.
Okay. What sauce do you think I should use for this?
I don't know, whichever one you like best. I feel like the third sauce, it didn't stick as well to my wings, which is a shame because I think it's the most delicious one.
You want one too?
Sure.
Now make this first.
Oh.
I think I'm going to go with second sauce because we have more of it. Oh, actually. So what are these? Seitan?
Yeah. Is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yeah, so... Okay, I keep hitting the table leg. But Cookie's wings were seitan wings, and it was her first attempt making them. And they're kind of... looks like a chicken nugget.
Yeah. Definitely the texture was
Squishier
weird.
than a-
Yeah, they're squishy.
A chicken nugget. Kind of looks like a chicken nugget on the inside, too. Like the McDonald's chicken that it's like, is it chicken?
Yeah, it looks a lot like that.
Because this is not chicken. It's alright. I think yours definitely had more sauce than what the wings did. Maybe not for the last one, but I don't know.
Yeah. I was pretty happy with how these turned out. As I was making it, I was like, I don't know if these are right, but hopefully it works out.
Yours says looks delicious. Yeah, I think I like definitely the first 4 sauces better than the 5th sauce.
The last sauce is so hot. I will say that I feel so much better. I don't know whether it was like all the things I ate or if it was just the time. Like, you know, just waiting a little bit. I mean, probably a combination of everything.
Yeah, I don't think either of them hurt anything.
No.
But yeah, I think I prefer the chicken wings, but I think the chicken wings could have been cooked a little longer. But I've never made chicken wings, so I'm not really...
I think I was supposed to bake them at a hotter temperature. But since I didn't have time to do separate runs in the oven for my wings and your wings, I kind of cut the difference. So that's why I was concerned that maybe they weren't done. I think they could have been crispier if I made them hotter.
Yeah, I think they would have been better that way, but that's okay. I don't know what to do with this bread. Did you just eat it plain?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad though, because I'm planning to make burritos as one of my meals soon. And I really like this sauce, and it's got like a Mexican-y kind of taste to it. So, because the thing is, I've been like holding off on
This
using.
was the third sauce?
Yeah. I've been holding off on using all these sauces because I'm like, well, I gotta make sure we have it so that when we do this Hot Ones challenge, that I'd have enough hot sauce.
Because we've been talking about doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Now, I don't remember when we first started talking about it.
I don't remember when either.
I maybe put too much of this on my bread.
You might have. But it's not as hot as the last dab, so you'll be okay.
I know. All right. Do you want to say anything else for the stream?
Stay in.
Yeah,
When you
stay
can.
home.
Stay safe.
Lower the curve.
You know what I have been doing? Because I told you I've been
Is
going
that
on.
what they call it?
Yeah.
Lower the curve?
Well, because there's like,
I know the graph, but
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was the actual phrase.
Yeah, I think that's it. Because I told you I've been going on walks like
Mhm.
pretty often. Just like once every few days, I'll go on a walk.
Flatten the curve. Thank
Flatten
you.
it. Yes.
I
thank
knew
you.
lower the curve wasn't right.
I had the right idea. Yes, I've been going on walks, and since I live like on the west side of the city, it's not that like it's crowded, but just there are other people using the sidewalks. So whenever I walk past people, I do hold my breath, and I will get off the sidewalk and like walk through the grass for a bit to try to make more space.
That's how my neighborhood is. Like, anytime I walk now, there are people out walking.
Yeah,
And so
it's because everyone has to like get out and do something.
yeah, so it's like, well, who's gonna be the one to move into the road?
sometimes people don't move.
Well, then you move.
There was one time where I was walking past someone and I was like against a hedgerow,
Mm-hmm.
so I couldn't move because they were on the road side. So it was their job to move and they didn't. So. But
That's just poor form.
yeah, but I would say like hold your breath though. It's a good idea.
definitely-
I don't know that it really makes a difference. but that's
Definitely
what I do.
the baby strollers got precedence, because anytime I saw a baby stroller, I'm like, okay, we gotta move, because
Yeah.
they can't move as easily
Mm-hmm.
because they're on wheels.
Or people with dogs too. I'll move for people
Oh.
with dogs because you can't control where the dogs are going.
I'm the one with the dog, and we move.
Well.
But everyone stay safe.
Yep. And we never decided what we were going to play next. We said we were going to set up a poll, and we haven't yet. We haven't had time to figure that out. So maybe we'll set up a poll, and then honestly, like I don't know who will see the poll before our next stream.
Right.
Well, actually, because me and Argus are going to start streaming Link's Awakening on
Okay.
Saturdays. And so then hopefully if people see us streaming that, then we'll tell people like, hey, go vote for what me and Rice
Yeah.
will play.
Okay, that would work.
Yeah. So we'll set up a poll, and then
When
you
are
guys
you-
can help us decide what we're going to play.
When are you gonna play that?
I said Saturday.
Oh, Saturday.
Yeah. We don't really know what time. Probably like, maybe we'll start like 7 or 8.
All right.
Now, what games would you be interested in playing? Just so that we have like a list.
I would be interested in Mario 64.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of having a blank here. I don't want to play Ocarina of Time.
Okay.
I guess that's where I'm at right now.
okay. But we'll come up with more games, and we'll include them.
Bubble Bobble.
Bubble Bobble. Okay. Yeah, I'll make a list of some games, and not Ocarina of Time. Toe Jam and Earl, that's a good pick.
Yeah, and we have a whole list right there of potential games.
We do.
So we'll come up with some for the
poll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay. Alright. Well, thank y'all for watching.
Yep. Have a good week.
Yeah, we'll be back on Wednesday, and then me and Argus will be playing on Saturday. Time to be determined.
Yep.
So, thanks
All
for
right.
watching. Bye.
Bye.